Welcome to the game zone. So what was I doing yesterday? I was wasting a lot of time. And I'm gonna go back and show you the time that I wasted, just so that we're all on the same page about wasting time. Anyway, yeah. Content moderation is borderline impossible. Welcome to the new nightmare of online distribution. So I improved, quote unquote, the material for this to have a noise texture sample, a value to tint the gradient, and I didn't think it was working at first, but it is actually working. It's not a very strong effect, but it's just a subtlety to the grass, so you get a little bit of a variation across the lawn. You know, it's nice, right? It's beautiful. And then I also changed all of the blocks to be actual in-engine rendered static meshes for the lumen scene. Is my PC tanking? Not yet, which is a good answer. I'm going to alter the day time. I'm going to alter the time of day because I would like to. That is the sun sky. I made this as well, which allows me to instantly author static mesh properties for the build time. Solar time. Early morning or early evening? Early morning. What was that? 7:20? 7:20. In the AM. So we can see now that, maybe you can't see, maybe we'll never see, but the lighting, controversial topics aside, what am I working on today? Yeah, combat. I'm meant to be working on combat today, and I will be shortly. I just wanted to show off that the lighting has been greatly improved, not just the lighting, but the reflections. So I've improved some things. I've made, it's definitely tanking the stream, I'm real sorry. It's gonna do that. It is gonna do that. God damn. So yeah, I made everything a real static mesh, so now it's all seen by the lumen scene. I don't know if I can bring the lumen scene up in the actual game, but I can bring it up here, so we can go to the lumen scene right now, and you can see that large portions of the game have been crispened. So yeah, it uses the SDF render for each model to determine like occlusion and also the reflection model for that thing. So I took some time in tweaking the SDFs. So the grass SDF is a resolution of 1, which is pretty awful if you ask me. But all the cubes now have an SDF of 4, which appears to be a good number to stop light leak in small areas like this, right? So previously, if we went in through this area here, not only would there be light leak, but all the cubes would actually be kind of more spherical than a cube, which was annoying for me. And it was annoying for the reflection view because you got weird artifacts like this. This isn't a weird artifact now. This is just what it looks like. So anyway, what is SDF, signed distance field? I'm actually not sure if it's signed. Question for me, devs in general: MGS VR cubes like standard untextured placeholder, or is it custom? This is custom. I made this. Let me get back into the lit scene because it's slightly more performant than the lumen scene. I made this. This is a 3D model made by me, textured by me, imported by me. Yeah, makes sense. Where is SDF setting? So you want to find the SDF setting, do you, huh? You want to see that SDF setting? So you need to go to your content. You need to go to your meshes. Let's get this hero prop mesh open. We'll open the mesh and you'll see there's a bunch of options, and under lot 0, which is the, as you know, the full mesh as it stands, you have options to do some things on import, like recompute the normals, tangents. You have the distance field resolution scale, which here is set to 6, and you have the lumen mesh cards as well. Lumen mesh cards are used for putting a view of the object into the scene cache, into the surface cache, and the default number is 12, which is far too many for this. These are all basic models, and they all have, you know, their sides are, is it orthogonal? Is that the word? All the sides face the same way, right? So there's no reason to capture angles like here or like under the chin. There's no reason for it, really. The kind of resolution that the game runs at is such that it will look fine if everything is captured as if it were a cube, because that's the resolution of the game en masse. You can view those cards as well with r.lumen.visualize card placement. And this will also tank the stream, so please bear with it. So you can see now there's basically one card placed on each side of each mesh. And they're placed in a sphere around the player, or an offset cone, more like a cardioid. We can't see behind us because if I move the camera, it will recompute more. Thank you. And I have to turn that off now because the stream is lagging and my PC is lagging. I don't know why they give you that option. It really is not performant. But yeah, the default is 12. 12 is overkill for stuff like this. 12 is probably good for photorealism. But you don't want fewer than 6. Because if you have fewer than 6, you're not going to be capturing all of the sides of a 3D thing. You understand my meaning? But yeah, once again, the distance field resolution is under the LOD 0 settings near the bottom, right there. Is that? That's behind my head. There you go. Get it while it's hot. Right there. So it's in the mesh settings, and if I show you my Blutility, I can show you that you can do that through Blueprint, through code as well, although it was an arduous journey to find where you do that. So begin transaction, that's just for undos. Get the selected assets for each array element, cast the static mesh, and we transact the object, that's for undo as well. So update nanite LOD settings. We have the static mesh editor subsystem, which is a generic reference that you can get anywhere in the game. It is part of the engine, or it's part of the editor rather, that you can reference while the editor is open. I realize I have made a grave error, so let me just correct that real quick. Whoopsie! So that was disabling nanite no matter what, which is not correct. But now it should work fine. So we have our inputs here: static mesh, distance field resolution scale, max lumen mesh cards, and enable nanite. We have set nanite settings, which can be called directly from the static mesh editor subsystem on the static mesh, and you can select yay or nay if nanite should be enabled, and then you can change the nanite settings individually. And then from the static mesh editor subsystem again, you can get the LOD build settings, which is where you get and set the LOD settings, which is what we're doing for the LOD 0, specifically the LOD 0. I don't really care about any other LODs. You can do it for other LODs as well. Totally fine. But here we go. We are copying most of the values except for the distance field resolution scale and the max lumen mesh cards, which we are inputting from our variables in the thing. And you just make a mesh build settings, break a mesh build settings, standard interface garbage. And you take the make out here and you set LOD build settings from the static mesh editor subsystem, calling the target the static mesh, whatever static mesh you have. Thumbs up, easy peasy. So here we go. On-click character mesh, don't want nanite for character meshes. Do want nanite for static meshes, and I realize that isn't going to have built nanite for anything. We do want nanite foliage meshes, and on-click custom mesh, RB nanite, enable nanite. Also great. So you can see that we have all of those options here. We have build nanite, we have SDF resolution, right there. And I'm setting everything to have 6 cards because it's important to me. Half the number of half the number of surface cards is, you know, twice the number of rendering potential, or root 2 times the number of rendering potential. If you know where I'm going. Root 2. But yeah, this scene should now be as performant as it gets. It's all static meshes. You think it's possible to update only the field without breaking and making? You've never tried that. It would be nice to find that, because like what I find myself doing like all the time is this, right? Is it this maybe? Set members in mesh build settings? Ah! Word up, Irish John Games, Diggy Diggy Hall. Sorry, you didn't hear that. What? 2? Welcome. I've had a turbulent first couple of minutes. A lot of news going on. Looks like this one. I hope this works. This better work. I don't want to have to do all this again. That would suck. I'm sure it will work. It looks like it works. Set members in mesh build settings. This looks complicated. Mana for president. Vote today? Today? Pump I. Oh god. Never should I have given you the power to make me work out. Plus vote plus 1. I'll do some of those curls that Devro taught me again, because they're fun and they seem to hate them, so I'm thinking I'm doing them wrong, but we'll do 20. Why not? 1, 2, 3. It's coffee time, BRB. Okay, have fun, coffee. 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I say 10? 8. 9, 10, 11. Oh, it was bad form. 11. That's better. 12. Makes noise in the background, clanking teacups, workout done. 13. 14. 15. 16, 17. I need to make this more expensive. 18, 19, oh, 20. Whew. Big sheesh energy. Whose power supply is this and what is it for? Oh, it's for the wheel, right. Wait for it. Wait for it. Ah, god damn it. So today I will be doing 21s with my teacup. Give me I need a small warm down from that. 21s is essentially 21 girls, so let me just unplug all this. Yikes. I don't want to see that ever again. What happened to my keyboard? Someone robbed half of it. Exactly. It's just... He thinks I have a page up key. Where they've robbed 2/3 of it, John. 2/3. That's why I keep calling you Jin. Man is OP, only needs half. Yep. I'm gonna see if this works, and then I will do the 21s. So it's easy enough to see if it works. We can grab our mesh. We can details. We can browse the asset. We can open the asset. True. You can do them later, don't worry. Well, that's not in the spirit of a redeem, is it? We can go to test. We can click on this lad. We can get our options on screen. I hate working on one screen. It's disgusting. So theoretically, this should change when we make wood foliage. Okay, it will close the window, no problem. I don't know what just happened there. My PC is freaking out. There we go, we made it world foliage. And that has Lot 0. Yeah, it has destination light lumen mesh card 6, distance field resolution scales 1. Drive overlay to make sure you do them. No, right now. So that does work. And if you make it a character mesh again, it should freak my PC out for another couple of seconds. And we should have... Back up. My chair is caught on something. It's workout. I'm gonna hit the microphone doing these. How did I do the other ones? I'm so confused right now. Okay. In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that a machoke? 1, 2, 3. Where did you get that from? 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. It's 21. Complete. You gotta activate your Arnold voice. Distance field resolution scale 6. Lumen mesh cards 6. It works like a... You follow Twitch Plays Pokemon to its completion. Damn. And there were handouts for that. That's nice. I feel like I've crashed the engine already. Anyway, that was just me showing off what I did yesterday. If I select everything in the world. Oops. Please deselect that. Oh god. Anyway, that's my handy dandy tool for changing the SDF resolution and building nanite and setting the mesh cards to 6 always. You got loads? I think I have some as well, but I think the ones that I have are from Prime. They're not from like a handout. What's that? Yeah, I have the Pokemon champ. It's from Twitch Gaming. Oh. Anyway, on with the actual show, which is me working out how a turn-based combat system works and where I'm going to put the implementation for all the skills. So, right. This is where I draw a complicated flow diagram in Photoshop. So we have the combat actor class, and they need to have access to a skill list, right? Which is generic overarching object which contains all of the skills and potentially items as well. By the way, yesterday you realized you needed a school board instead of paint. Yes. I would definitely be paying attention if a virtual eraser was heading my way. So the skill list, item list, they're essentially interchangeable things. They do the same thing, but they do different things. Chalk sounds. Oh, and with one of those rolly ones, which has got like 3 screens on it. Clickety clack. Anyway, so the combat actors and potentially the player character need access to these 2 things. These 2 things need to be pretty arbitrary, easy to edit, and these things need to be able to call them arbitrarily and easily, right? So they also need their calls to be filtered by like a checker, right? So can, right? Can they do that? If they can do that, they can do that. If they can't do that, next game jam manner, virtual chalkboard. God damn. He was watching MIT videos on YouTube and then he went, now that's an idea. Yeah. So anyway, the potential for a player character or a combat actor, it's actually a great idea for these. Maybe. It could be, like virtual interactive chalkboard demonstration. I'll think about it. I mean, it would be easy to code. You could do it in VR. Oh, I could do it in VR. Do you know how hard it was to draw on the window in VR in Half-Life Alyx? I was surprised. I thought it'd be easy. Then again, when I was drawing on the window in Half-Life Alyx, I was doing it on a mobile phone, and I had to move my whole body to do it. Anyway, that's enough about me. What about you? The combat actor and the player character, they have to have a filter to what they can see in the item and the skill list. The item and the skill lists are generic implementations, right? These are generic implementations. And the player character and the combat actor will have a specific interface. See, I'm using words now, and I'm leading my design with these words, and I think they're the wrong words. The player character and the combat actor will have a specific interface. Only if you can have volumetric clouds while wiping it off. Done. Not just volumetric clouds, but procedural fluid simulation volumetric clouds. Welcome to Unreal. I will tank your GPU. It's true. They recently implemented. I could do it right now if I wanted to, but I don't want to. I kind of do want to, but it'd be a waste of time. There's not going to be any volumetric particle simulations in this. So how am I going to get, basically, who can dev the best chalkboard? I mean, mine will be photorealistic, but no one will be able to run it. That's the caveat, right? So there's a couple of options for how we can implement this, right? Right now, right this second, I have a skill handler actor, which is not ideal. That's not what I want. That's not what I want at all. If I go back to the levels, we go demo combat alpha. Yeah, don't save it. I don't know what I changed, but I didn't want to change it. We go back here. I have already some issues with the combat thing, with error checking and stuff that doesn't actually work correctly. But when you click spell, this gives us a list of things. So this is another thing that I need the spell list to be able to do. What are the chances they actually fix Destiny today? 0%. They can't fix. If they fix the game, they lose their #1 marketing opportunity for having a completely broken game that millions of people enjoy and play. Quote unquote enjoy, right? Anyway, click fireball. You can cast a fireball. There's nothing to prove that you cast a fireball, but he has taken 75 points of damage. Please trust me on that one, because it's broken as shit right now. Infinite melee warlock. So Dracula doesn't have any spells, but his spell list will not refresh. You can select Fireball and you can cast it on the lad. It won't do anything, and it'll just say something went wrong. Combat is working. Combat is here. You can attack and they will die. So it functionally works. We have a spell, but the spell is hard coded in the combat BPs, right? So we have the CAC skill handler, which is oh, it's an active component, right? Okay. Yeah, and I have this huge banner on top of it saying, this is bad, please change this one day. And what I have is a switch on string. We get the string. The string is basically an array of strings which we append to the actor, right? So the actor will have an array of strings in their skill list, and when they call activate magic item, magic item is going to be target actor in, magic item in. We're going to break the ST spell skills. We're going to get the name tech function, which we're going to switch on string, and we're going to call the function which has the name matching the name on the string that we pass this, and this is a nightmare. This is not how you program this. This is ridiculous. This is prone to mistakes. This is just a nightmare, right? Do we have a call function by name? Function by name. I swear we had a call function by name. Clear timer by function name. Does timer exist by function name? Okay, so this is the closest we get to call function by function name, right? But the problem is this is all manual. I have to add these myself. I can't name two pins the same thing, even if they're blank. There is only one none. The heading is a heading, and that is not correct. I'm not really sure how we're going to do that. The only thing I can think is if we make name tech function an enum, and we have a switch on enum instead of a switch on string. But that would also require a lot of pre-planning, because an enum, a blueprint enumeration, is really hard to edit, as I remember correctly. Because if you want to change the order in which something happens, you have to, like, moving things increases exponentially based on how big the enum is. I don't know why. It just does. And typing the enum would be a lot easier in C++. But I'm scared of the C++. Because the last time I used C++ in this project, it bricked it. Oh. Oh boy. Something went wrong. And the other thing is, this CAC skill handler is like, it's here, right? If we go to our dummy classes and we get our CA player character, right? So this is the core function of how the player character interacts with the game. So we don't need any of the player art. We have chosen skill, which is name tech friendly, name tech function, targeting requirements, and MP cost. and we have skills array, right? And the skills array is going to hold it's going to hold all of the skills that the player can use. But you can't select them. They are. The skills array is an array of strings, I believe. So they have a skill handler here. Yeah, and we have activate magic item, target actor, magic item in, activate magic item, exit targeting, delay, turn ending, right? So yeah. What does this do? Exit targeting, cast to PC VGRPG combat. Set combat phase to 2. That's not entirely true. Let me fix this real quick, because this is something we can actually fix really quickly. So if we go and we get our PC VGRPG combat, and we have the cursor dude, right? We find references. Show me get cursor dude in this, right? Cursor dude is valid, destroy actor, create UMG, confirm place widget. There it is. Yeah, so that's all we need to do. Just destroy him. So we go to here. We need to get cursor dude, and then cursor dude can plug into cursor dude, and then if they're valid, we can destroy. If not valid, you just continue with the execution of the program. Oh, Mika, I know you like music production. I found a guy on YouTube who's got links to like free soft synths and stuff. I can't remember his YouTube name though. I think I still have the tab open, so I'll get you a link to that. He has a link to Dext and a whole bunch of other cool soft synths that I've forgotten the name of already. Sitala, which I already use. It was nice to hear that mentioned. I hate when nodes do this, man. Yeah, so that should now clean the cursor dude up. When we're doing this. Exit targeting, I believe, is valid for attack, magic, everything. So go to attack, and then we bop him, and the cursor's disappeared. Thank God for that. That's been pissing me off for like 6 months, no joke, and I just ignored it because it's like a non-critical feature, and now it's gone. I feel so great. So great, in fact. I'm going to grab that link for that YouTube.
15.
Not that one. Not that one. This one. This guy. Play PM. Let me just get the first video I watched today.
No one should pay the.
There you go. There's the video. I can post links in chat. So yeah, very briefly, I'm gonna go grab a drink because I'm out of drink. And I'm gonna save my project as well. Jesus. Oh, do you know what it is? I haven't built nanite for any of my project things. Let me do that as well. Cause like all of this stuff needs to have nanite built for it, doesn't it? Everything except for you. Oh, I'll just yeah, none of the character stuff, but all that. The ladders. Yeah, so right, your foliage as well. Oops. Right, so that's world static. That'll take a second. I like how everyone with these cool game development machines, it shows you a progress bar. When you watch the videos from Epic, it shows you the progress bar. But on my PC, it just kind of freezes. It just goes, like it's doing it so fast it couldn't show you a progress bar, but it's obviously not. It's really weird. Now I'm gonna go get. I'll see you in a moment with a drink. In a moment with a drink. In a moment with a drink. Because I'm back too. Welcome back, Mika. If any of you don't know, Mika314 is also a game developer on Twitch. Should be following each other. Solidarity. And also very, very, very talented programmer. And also, I bent my finger on the banister coming up the stairs. So I can't type with my pinky today. Owie. Oh. What the fuck? Ah! There's a mosquito in this room somewhere. I see how this goes. God damn it. God damn it. I put up an insect net. And yet, that's the only grass, isn't it? What? Typing would look like this without inky. Typing would look like this without inky. I'll just use the caps lock key, it's fine. Goddamn mosquitoes. I only noticed then because I was like, ooh, did I do any damage to the joint? And then there's like a little lump. And then it's like, oh, right, it's a mosquito bite. Also, right in the web of my hand between my pinky and my ring finger. Jesus. You'd think that they could just get a more efficient, less itchy, you know, painkiller. They could just use something off the shelf from the NHS maybe. But no. Right. How is this going to work? Where are we going to store the skills? And also, I'm already technically storing them in a. What the? What's this? Custom mesh 18 static mesh. What's this? What is what is this? My dude, I need an explanation of what this is. It's custom mesh 18. Duh. Where did any of this come from? I'm not dealing with it. Get out. Ah, might have come from Magic Circle creation. Yes. Anyway, game content. Combat BP. So I have an actor extension. I have a what's it called? An actor component, right? I don't think I want the skills to be an actor component, do I? I was thinking about making them a function library, but that'd be massively wasteful, would it not? So I'm thinking. So I have the harm function. I have the harm function described in the combat actor base class. I'm worried that might be the wrong place to do it. If the harm function could be actually declared in a macro or a function library and then called from the function library in the base class, it'd be easier to edit. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's wrong. Let's get the base combat actor open. Please. I do not have a function for damage. Hello? Spaghetti alla carbonara. Event graph, here we go. Yeah, I have heal, refresh are the events. They are events. Interesting. I don't know what this is. Append turn adjustment. Right, okay, yeah. That appends the turn adjustment. Okay. Prototypes. Run attempt, defend, talk, target, attack, temp, attack, target, magic item, attempt, magic item, target, kill, take turn. So ostensibly the magic item attempt actually can't be a magic item attempt. It has to be a magic skill attempt. Magic items and magic have to be separate from each other. Okay, so because they work on different principles, right? I mean, they work on the same principles, but they draw from separate pools, and it might be easier to separate magic and items from each other. Because items obviously work on a unit per unit basis. Magic works on an MP basis. Sup dog, sup dev row. Welcome. What's going on? What's happening? I'm struggling. I don't want to do things and then have to undo it later because it was stupid. But at the same time, I don't want to just sit here and not do things and just think about things on stream for a long time. So like this definitely has to not be like this. I'm sure everyone, even a junior programmer, would look at this and be like, that's stupid, this is dumb. This is stupid and this is dumb, yes. What's your opinion on having like a generic, extensible, easily callable set of functions that can be called? Brought servers down just before you finished off Nightfall boss. Ooh. The Nightfall boss is just there doing the Alpos dance and dabbing on you as you're disconnecting. Like at double speed as well, so it's extra funny, like one of those TikToks. Cries internally. I'm gonna look it up. Like, there's a big reason I don't put Chrome on the start screen. Unreal Engine call function by name. Uh-oh. For example, set timer function, you choose the function you can call by its name. There's another call function by name that takes a string function as name input. Why don't you search and source for yourself and how that code is coded? You can search for them via GitHub. The most binded function is name input without the spaces, and sometimes may be different than search by name and no space. In order to becomes class has target period for the get classified code and specific code class can't post code. Oh, so you need to set up GitHub assets access this link. As you can see here, object find function name, which gets the uFunction object representation of the node function you use this, I guess, but not what you should feed frame with. If this is too complex for you, I recommend this the function calling node code in Blueprint. Create base class in native C++ based on a class that as a Blueprint you wanted to call basing. Help. And declare virtual functions with Blueprint implementable event specifier in uFunction. And for all calls you need, keep in mind you don't need to place any code in CPP. In fact, you shouldn't, as you would get errors. Those functions will be visible even as events in Blueprint. Now create a Blueprint based on the CPP class you just made, or change the parent to an existing one. Target is vcam Blueprint function library. Do I have to compile this? Can I just right click in the editor and create new C++ class? I'm gonna do it. You have bookmarked this O'Reilly article. You love enums. I love enums too. Enum Factory. Enum who? Is this it? Field enumerator user defined enumerator? C++ enum in UE. You need to add the EU num definition above your class and then actually create a member variable in your class that you want to have be an instance of this enum. If you want an enum to be used in many different classes, instances of this enum may be used in many classes. You can define the enum in some class that holds all of your important definitions like ustructs. Testing the value in C++. Use defined enum. Pretty sure that's it. It's an enum that's user defined, right? Surely. Is it a requirement to make it in C++, or will blueprints be good enough? Editing a blueprint enumerator is a nightmare. I don't know if you've ever tried it, Mika, but if you have more than 6 things in a blueprint enumerator, it freaks out. I'm freaking out. I'm getting out of here. Maybe an enumerator isn't what we want to go for. Maybe we want arrays. But I can't have arrays of function object references, can I? That's not something that we can do, is it? editing enums in C++ usually crashes your editor. My god. I just don't know how to do it, you know? There doesn't seem to be a good way to do it that is low effort, point and click, drag and drop. Used to it takes 14 seconds to restart the editor. I just realized that I have a clock with seconds. Haha. Well, it takes more than 14 seconds to close the editor, so... There is a method to the madness. I edited a whole bunch of meshes and loaded a level that we're not working in, so that's going to be in memory. I'll clear that out of memory. So, yeah. There we go. It took 20 seconds to close the editor. And then... the crash is instantaneous. What kind of beef PC do you have, Mika? Anyway, back to my crude drawing, right? So there's a list of all the skills and the implementation, right, of how they work here. And then the player character interfaces with that and takes only the skills that it knows, right? That one, maybe that one, maybe the one after that as well. Spent 2 days searching into how to optimize the startup time. Your 5-year-old Windows box, it's still fast, 8 seconds. So I'm thinking, and this is a terrible idea. But what if each one of the skills was in fact an object? Then we could have an array of object references, right? And if it was an object, it would be able to have its own implementation inside itself. And this is so silly. But it's just a code object, so it shouldn't be too bad, right? Theoretically, we should be able to very easily make a code object, like a non-rendering actor, essentially. And we could organize them quite easily. It seems so stupid, like, to have a hierarchy of objects just for spells, just for skills in a game. Like, I kind of just want them all on one page, but this is a good... No complaints, though, because it used to be 3 minutes. The Linux glibc version of the dynamic linker is very slow, takes a third of a second to load a module. Ooh, someone made an effort and optimized the dynamic linker. Ooh. Everybody in. I'm gonna do a poll. You can do a poll, right? Go poll. I'm thinking that this is the way you do it, though, because this is what, a class reference right here. So they're purple, aren't they? So this is a class reference array of skills. So you have a skills class reference, and the class reference itself can be split between, you know, skills, and then you have I think we had what, four different types of skill, did we not, in the skill handler? So we have healing skills, damaging skills, speed related skills, turn speed related skills. We'll call those buffs. And refreshing skills, right? So healing and damage and refreshing. Refreshing isn't going to be under skills, be under items more than skills. So actually, yeah, you're right. So skills is going to be divided in two halves. So we have a skills.c, whatever, skills.bpp. So we have magic, an item, so this is actually not a skills reference at all. It's a magic reference. It's a magic reference. And then magic and item share implementations, which we can offload to a macro, a function library. But they'll be healing, damage, debuff, refresh, and dot. Although I'm thinking that dot and debuff are fairly similar. And items will share the same classes, mostly. But that means if you have an item actor reference, you can have an array of skills. What interface is the skill going to have? Cast, level. Yeah. So the skill will have. So if it's a magic or a skill, it will have an MP requirement. And if it's an item, it will have a if you've got one requirement. So that's the difference between these two, but they'll have the same implementation. So I'm feeling that this is actually backwards. How about passive skills? I don't think there are any passive skills. If there are passive skills, I don't think there's going to be passive skills. Or if there are passive skills, they'll just be like applied, just before combat starts. That's something to think about later. But we can extend the skills section to have passive skills like poison resistance or whatever. Which means the combat actor is going to get big. Object hierarchy sounds like a good idea. Okay. Because I just figured it's the easiest way to get a thing. So instead of getting the name of the thing and a list of the names and then getting the name of the thing and then passing a switch, it's a lot easier. But if I don't go that route, will I be less than someone who would yes, wait, no, wait, yes, wait, no, wait? I mean, not less per se, but I mean different, definitely. Hey, Zach. Is it linear and everyone goes that path? I mean, only warlocks. Only ever warlocks. What's going on? Weather nice? You got nice weather over there? It's been raining all day today. Okay, so I'll do that then. What? Someone voted not good. Someone voted works, but why? I'm getting out of here. Oh fuck, it's 80 and clear, third day in a row. Damn, scorcher. That's what we say over here, scorcher. That dry heat. Is it dry? Is it a dry heat? Fuck if it's humid. That's terrible. May as well just live in Florida at that point. You know what I'm saying? It's a scorcher. Do you know, I think there's a song. It's not bad. Friday was bad. Friday was bad. Okay. There's a song called The Scorcher for Game OST, right? I gotta look it up now. Oh, I'm triggered. I gotta look it up. Don't look at my music collection. Do not look at all. What even are these? Scorcher. Yeah, Armored Core for answer. 4 minute long. What's it sound like? It's this one. Yeah. It's a great song. I love it. They play it in the arena a lot. It works, but why? Not good. Good. Very bad. Works, but why was you? You always ask why. You don't think why should be an offensive word. Who voted not good then? Yeah, the why is because it's hard to pass a string. Well, it's not hard to pass a string. It's hard to type a string 1,000 times for every class in the game that needs to have a skill unlocked, rather than just having a list of all the skills as actors or objects. Not actors, technically. Or technically actors, yes, but they're not in the scene, they're not rendered, so they don't take any GPU time. I don't think of them as actors, but they are technically, but they are objects. Because this not MLD Dono Gaming. MLG Dono Gaming. That's right. I am the MLG Dono. And that is true. Something Iron Banner, something reset. Is that what they said? Something reset Iron Banner, something? That's tonight. That's in like a few hours. Don't tempt me. Do not tempt me. I will not be moved to violence. Anyway, but yeah, this is stupid, right? Switch on string, putting a string in, and having an array of strings on each actor that needs a skill. That is dumb. That is 100% dumb. Anything is going to be better than this. So yeah. Arc is too good. Damn, that's an addiction right there. That's an addiction. Yeah, we have a 50-50 on works but why and not good. I want to know who said not good and why they said not good. Oh, it was Zach. Because this is an MLG game. Right, yeah, okay. All my questions have been answered, thank you. So I think I'm gonna just do that then. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna start right now. So we need a folder for all this to go into, because you gotta run to the store for shit and you're brutally unmotivated. Damn. Someone breaking in? I hope you find the motivation in reset. Like the faster you get your store done, the faster you can get to reset. See you later, Lumi. See you later, Devereaux. Doji. I'll see you in a moment, I guess. In a while. I'm sure you'll come back and I'll be in a dungeon again. Grinding out hard mode. Right. So we're in the skills folder. So I make a blueprint class. Can I just use object? Like, I don't need to render anything. This could just work, right? And just object. So this is going to be a BP skills object. And yeah, we don't have a viewport. We don't got nothing. This is perfect. I didn't know this existed until now. So you can just use an object for something you're never going to drag into the scene. I gotta make sure we can reference it though. Let me just real quick VP skills. Oh no. VP skills. Yeah. Object class reference. Boom. Easy peasy. And skadoosh. Easy. Yes, my friends. This is exactly what I wanted. So BP skills. Has a custom event, which is activate. It takes 2 inputs. Does it take 2 inputs? I think it might just take 1 input. Because this is complicated. This is complicated code that shouldn't have been this complicated to begin with, but it is. There's new ones. Yes. No, I've seen them. There are new ones. There are new ones. Pertinax. Did you see the one with Hagrid? When you're going through a dungeon with Draugr? Pertinax, very funny man. Very funny meme man. Not yet. You gotta watch it. It's good. About to watch. Hype, 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 hype. See, I don't keep my finger on some pulses, but other things, insta watch. I was looking for combat actor player character, I think. Sopranos 2 perfect. I know, right? It works, and nobody has the good reason for it to. Magic item attempt, which is chosen skill, which is an ST skill structure apparently, and target, which is an actor object reference. Wonder if you can have virtual functions in the object. Otherwise, you may need an interface instead of the object. Disclaimer, I'm not an expert in blueprints. No, it's fine, I think. We have an event in BP skills, so if I were to just make really quickly. That is not a valid variable name, I'm sorry. That you would let me even do that is scary. events are analogous to virtual functions, that makes sense. Oh, actions taking and BP skills object reference. I think I may have done a poop. It's because it didn't have anything on it. But this is a problem because we can't. Yeah, target is reference to an object instance. Right. So here's the problem that I come to again and again and again and again and again, right? So you can have a reference to a class, but you can't call any functions from a reference to a class. You can call functions to a reference from an object, but you can't store statically an array of references to an object in a variable because the objects don't exist. Conceptually, they aren't in the scene. Which is a problem. Construct object from class. That sucks. That 100% sucks. 98% sucks. It works. It's fine, right? So I don't like it. Because you do this and then you destroy it, right? Free? Let's look up how to use objects in Unreal Engine. Oh, da 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 da. Oh, ha ha! Hello! Okay, mark pending kill. Fuck out of here. Handled by garbage collection. Oh my god. I know. I guess a strong reference would be if we promoted this to a variable, stored it inside the actor, and then did away with it. So that's actually pretty good, so I don't actually even have to delete it myself. Although I'd like to. I would like to specify when it goes away, which you can only apparently do in C++ with mark. Mark for deletion, was it? Mark for kill? Mark pending kill can be called directly on an object, and this function set all pointers to the object to null. As well as remove the object from all global searches. Once again, object will be fully deleted on the next garbage collection pass. I don't know how often a GC is. I'm assuming it's like in a value of ticks or milliseconds, right? This is your never-ending fight against the Unreal Engine. The engine is opinionated, and so am I. Well, if you have strong references, if you store things as variables, they don't get GC'd. That's my understanding, right? A strong reference would be a pointer, which could include things like a variable. So we're going to use this nomenclature, I guess, going forward to call events from the object. And yeah, activate has got one activate's got one input, which is the target. That's fine. So this has got actor object reference. Has no variables. So I guess the big question is, do I want my table to look like that? So skill magic item damage healing buff debuff damage healing buff debuff, or do I want it to look like skill damage healing buff debuff magic item? I want the other one, don't I? I want this one. What was I thinking? So combat BP, go to our skills, BP skills, child blueprint class. This is going to be SK magic and SK item. And this is going to have a variable which is MP. Require MP cost, and that's going to be an integer. Yeah, not public, because it's not editable outside of it existing. Totally fine. BP skills, no. Demo combat alpha. SK item. SK item. Hello. Activate. No. Event activate. Hello. Is going to... no, they have two inputs. BP skills have got a target and user, which is also an actor, yes. But the SK item is going to have a branch. Why is Unreal being so unresponsive today? It's going to have a branch, and it's going to get inventory. So this is, yeah, okay. Uses pointers everywhere, and you think you should use references, has GC. In my opinion, GC is a bad idea. You can get away with unique pointer and shared pointer. It has its own version of containers and strings. You think STL versions are perfectly fine. Has its own version of events and delegates, and you think you can get away with standard functional lambdas. It has different layers to instantiate the object. I think you only need constructor. Yeah. It was my understanding that C++ use pointers everywhere anyway. That's just the nature of the beast. But yeah, I mean, it has a certain degree of custom to the engine. I know that. So we need to check if the user has enough inventory. I'm not even going to do it here. Because we have to do the same thing with magic to see if they have enough MP. It's stupid. The all of the skills, I think, need a variable, don't they? Friendly name, which is a string, a text. Does that have a space in it? That's another thing I don't like about this keyboard. It has display name, friendly name, display name, display name, friendly name. Well, they're not going to have an unfriendly name other than the function name, other than the object name, right? Can I color these in? Thumbnail edit mode. No. Set color there, it's only on folders. I can't color these in. I don't want to tuck them away in like a folder hierarchy either, but there's going to be a lot of stuff, so I think it's for the best. Show redirectors is on. So we have damage, folder healing, refresh, debuff. Buffs and debuffs can go in the same thing, right? Healing damage, debuff, refresh. I think that's it. buff debuff can also be a dot, can it not? And if we got to the point where we were doing like fire damage with the chance to burn, it would call a damage function to do the fire, and then it would then subsequently call a debuff after that in the same execution path. It should be fine. That should be fine, right? So dots are debuffs against HP. Function libraries. This is going to be BPFL combat features. Damage is gonna have Ector object reference, which is target. It's gonna have damage type, which is gonna be, yep, you're gonna have to make those as structs, enumerators. Types of damage, and that's going to be physical damage or magical damage. So we can have another one. En damage shape. Shapes of damage, which is going to be piercing, slashing, bludgeoning, and I don't want to say null. Null is a bad word to put in programming because it has a very special meaning. But what's like not any of these? Magic, amorphous, to do mana update display name. It's a friendly name, it's fine. It's a friendly name in the last class, it's totally fine. Swords, glaives, claws, spears, arrows, bullets, teeth, bludgeoning, clubs, stocks, fists, magic, clouds, friendly name. Mono update display name, friendly name. It's updated, it's fine. Magic, clouds, question mark, question mark, question mark. That's fine. This is important. This is how it's always set up. And I need another one. Enumeration. Damage. EN. Damage flavor. Flavor of the damage. None. Vanilla. Untyped damage. Fire. Lightning. Acid. Acid? Acid. Flames. Electricity. Acid. Plasma. See that? 2 M's. High energy. Is that it? Fire, lightning, acid, plasma. I feel like there's other things that's meant to be there. But I can't think of them. We can always come back and add more. It's fine. Am I gonna do this? Am I gonna split physical into physical ranged and physical melee? No. Yes, no, yet no. I'll have calculations based on physical and ranged be bound to the weapon object. Totally fun. I think. Right, yeah. So damage type is EN damage types. And then we have oops. EN damage shape. EN damage flavor. Is there a way to auto-populate this with an array? Instead of doing a select, can I have or a list, a map, maybe? It would have to be on the combat actor though, right? Make array. Well, make array. Here's one for you. Make array. It's a node. No. 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 I mean, yes, but no. Like, is there a way to automatically get index 0 and index 1 from an array and put them into a select node? Break array? No. You're missing context. You are missing context. And then, yeah. So I can have a map, look. Can you just use a for loop? No, that's slow. That's stupid. I just want to look up. I just want to look it up. And I can make a map, but actually making a map from an enumerator apparently seems like a nightmare because it doesn't automatically want to map the correct values to the correct values. It's me a physical one. The default value is value 0, and so it doesn't want to do that. So if I change this to, for example, an integer array, with 2 elements, 1 and, oh, it can't be an integer either, it has to be a float. Whoopsie! And 0.5. Good luck with getting an index from a map. Well, Mr. Wormjuice, I am a master at getting an index from a map. I use maps and keys all over my project right here. Exactly on this screen that I just happened to be lurking on for no apparent reason other than just a flex. You think you're not following what I need. I want to select a value based on the input index from a value coming in. So, how do I explain this? I'm guessing you don't play Dungeons and Dragons that often. So, damage has a type if it's physical or magical. It has an element. It's what they like to call it in the fantasy realms. I've called it a flavor, you know. So, a flavor, fire flavor, poison flavor, acid flavor, whatever. It goes on, right? And then it has a shape. So if it's piercing, if it's bludgeoning, if it's slashing, or if it's shapeless like magic. Yeah, but simply saying map get index, nope. Yes, because a map is a key value pair. So you get a value based on the key, and the key is the enumerator. So I can do it, but it's upside down and it pisses me off. As you see, look, witness, I will do it again, just so that we're all on the same page, just so you know it can happen. We have damage type resistance, so we will change this to an enumerator. There are a lot of enumerators in Unreal Engine, apparently. En damage type, right? En damage type, we will change it to a map. And then we will compile it so we get our options, and it will delete everything. So we add one, and we can't add another one because 0 is the default key value. So I can change that to 1, and then we can have that. But now the map's upside down, and very, very annoying to me. That is instinctively rage-inducing, so I refuse to do it. And you can have your values here, and then instantly from that, if I just compile, right? We don't need to select anymore in this. We can get our damage type, and we can get our damage. Oh yeah, no. We need to cast to combat actor. Get damage resistance, get damage type resistance, and then from this we can get damage type, get get key value, get value yeah, here we go. Find, right? Find, and then you plug the damage type in, and it gives you the key. The key isn't an index. That's the problem. The key itself is a variable. You've misgrabbed on that so many times. It's okay. I'll admit I'm a little bit rusty on using my values, my keys, and my maps, but they are extremely useful for using context-sensitive things. So here we have a beautiful lookup that we don't need a select node for, which is great, but requires me having a map of damage types in my damage type resistance. If we go to our combat actor, you saw how angry I was setting that up, because it doesn't matter which way around these are theoretically. I'm just gonna have to suck it up, aren't I? That's actually a really nice way of doing it. I'm just gonna suck it up. I'm just gonna deal with it. Don't worry. Don't worry about me. Huge slam. But yeah, that was it. You still do not understand what you need, but can you cast enum to int? What? What? What are you talking about? No. Int to enum. And also no. Not a blueprint enum, at least. What I want to do, so damage, the damage system in the game has 3 portions describing the damage, right? Has the damage type, the damage shape, and the damage flavor. And any player or NPC could have a resistance or a weakness to one or all of these. Okay, you can. That was bite. That was bite. Please. That's bite. That's not enum. That is a byte. That is going to change the byte value to an integer. That's not going to change. That's not going to be a 0, 1, 2, 3. That's going to be unusable, I would say, in this instance. Anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. So any player could have a resistance or a weakness to these. Byte is int. Oh, what? No. I mean, yes. Yes, theoretically, but no. Not in this context. This is an enum, Mika. This is an enumeration. Byte is 0, 1, 2, 3. I'll print it out. I don't know how I'm going to print it out, but I'm not going to print it out. Fine, I'll print it out. I can't print it out, it needs an input. It is in. Okay, okay. I'm still going to print it out. I'm going to do it. Byte is an 8-bit int. Yeah. 100% yes, I agree. But the 8-bit int that byte represents surely is not going to be the index. It can't be. Nah. Input action G. No, M. Input event M. BPFL, combat features, damage. Devro's back! So it's physical, which is 0. So these are all 0. So when I get into the game, I'm going to get into the game, and we're going to see once and for all what it prints out, just for the sake of ending any argument that we might have between these friends. So this should print over the wheel. I'm going to press N. Okay. Okay. It works fine. Mika is correct. Mika knows. Mika knows. I had my doubts. Truly I did. That's interesting. Does that mean you can drive an enumerator with an int by casting it back to byte? Ooh, fancy. Which would just be a switch on int at that point. Anyway, I don't need any of that. Can we talk about the fact that you don't have an electronic nodes despite the fact it's on discount right now? I don't really like it. I'm not gonna lie. How much is it? I don't really like the look of electronic nodes or flat nodes. Meter nodes. I want to feel the pain of moving all of my comment boxes myself. I will look at it though, because everybody loves it. Get the nodes! It's powerful, but it is also dangerous. Can be said of anything in C++. Auto comment is free and awesome. Is it actually electric nodes? Nodes. Electronic nodes. Darker nodes. You add an additional enum and forget to update the array, you get an outbounds error. Electronic nodes? Yeah, why didn't it pop up when I searched for electronic nodes? That's biased. It is only 25% off. 33% off. I can do maths. Don't bug me. You added the enum value in between and the array is out of sync. Yeah. Electronic nodes, for everyone who doesn't know, is a very popular node routing mod. Two times wire thickness. Draw bubbles. Moving. I don't know, man. Because it's good. I don't know. It's look fine to me. I do like the ribbon. I do like the ribbon addition to it. What was I doing anyway? I was making a function to calculate this. So CA player, no, PC, no, combat, yeah, here we go. So damage type resistance, control D, so we have damage flavor resistance, which is an EN damage flavor. Okay, so that plasma, acid, they just have to be upside down. I don't know why they have to be upside down, but they do. Lightning, fire, no. Magical, physical, physical, magical. What are we doing about the raw damage calculation then? Oh, there's so many twists and turns to programming this kind of fucking system. It's driving me insane. Why didn't I just make a first-person shooter like everybody else? Oh no, it has to be kooky, turn-based, and tabletop style. Oh, so stupid. Oh, it's the worst kind of game. Because then you need to animate characters and tap out. Oh wait, that's you. This is gonna be an EN damage shape. Amorphous. Bludgeoning. Slashing. Pacing! God damn it. Thank you. piercing. Yeah, decurrent turn map. So I use maps a lot because they're really useful. We have the turn adjustment map, right? Set some turn map? No. Spaghetti? Maybe. Drive? No. Decrement? No. Pretty sure I have code somewhere. Isn't the just raw in the event graph? Append turn adjustment. Yeah, right, okay. So I use a map to deal with turn adjustments, so I can have multiple turn adjustments that last multiple turns. So if there's a fixed debuff for speed and a fixed buff for speed, say, and they get applied, instead of increasing the speed buff in speed, it just prolongs the effect, right? And yeah, that's it. That's it. So I'm guessing a resistance value. These are still integers and they needed to be floats. Oops. Oops. So the resistance can be between -1 and 1. So 0 wait. This is where it's going to start to get crazy, okay? So we have the raw damage in, right? 9999. And then we have multiplied by its resistance, right? So yeah, -1, which would be plus 999 HP. And then up to up to 0. -1 to 0. 0 would be -0 HP. And 0 to 1 would be -999. Oops, not in green. Goodness me, not in green. -999 HP. And then 1 to infinity would be -infinity HP. Yeah, so between -1 and infinity, essentially. Infinity wouldn't actually be infinity in this case. It'd probably be 2 or 4 or 10. 10 would probably be the biggest. Doing 10x damage to something because of weaknesses. But do they stack? So there'll have to be some caps on certain kinds of resistances. You can't absorb damage that isn't energy, right? So there's only ever going to be a minus resistance on the damage flavor, and the damage flavor is lightning, fire, plasma. Mostly. We'll make it work. So do I have to open the Trello? I think I have to open the Trello. I'm sorry. Trello is like my least favorite program to use. It doesn't even have a name on the launcher. It updates without my permission. It's online only. Design doc combat. Do I have a design doc empty? I should have a design doc empty. Yeah, here we go. Copy list. Design doc damage. Resistances. Resistance values are between -1, fully absorbed, and infinity, multiples more damage. Resistance value of 0 will nullify the damage entirely. Resistance values for damage shape and damage cannot be lower than 0. So if you take piercing damage, bludgeoning damage, slashing damage, amorphous damage, or physical damage of any kind, you can't absorb that. And in fact, damage type in general. So it's only going to be flavors that you can absorb. Only damage flavor can be absorbed. So the big question is, once we've got all these datas, what are we going to do? What are we gonna do? Some kind of calculation here. Probably min. So we actually need a damage value in, actually. Which is going to be a float. I call it harm. Call function harm. That's an integer. Uh-oh. Oops. So we get the most resistant attribute and we use that. And so we should probably go actually change the default values from 0 to 1 because if they're all 0, no one's going to take any damage anymore. Which is good. I'm going to do that real quick. And then I'm going to lose the will to live. No problem. Now we have a slightly flexible way of adding and changing damage types and player resistances to those damage types. And it only took 2 hours. Yeah, it only took 2 hours. Great. But we also have draft skill thing and a function library for implementing those skill things. Oops. Right. That's great. That's fantastic. We have prototype, skills, BP skills, activate the skills. This is going to have to be font size 40, comment color turbo pink. I'll leave it in for now because it's the only code that we got that still works. So it's coming up to 8 o'clock, so I'm gonna wrap this seg up there. Maybe grab a drink. I'm running low on the old juice. Grab myself a drink and then we'll do some stuff. And then we'll play some video games. That's it. So yeah, thanks for tuning into this seg, and I'll see you in a few minutes for the next seg.